Hey guys, B-Drags here, coming at you with episode 2 here of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. In the first episode we did, I guess you would call it the opening dialogue. We played poker against some wolf. Um, Pretty sure he cheated. I had a royal straight flush. Went all in, I bet him my word. I cut my hand, dropped the blood in, and my royal straight flush ended up in his hand. So that was some witch magic, if I've ever seen it. Definitely cheated. And then now we're in the real world, I guess you would call it. Don't really know where to go from here. Hold on, this is kind of loud. It's a little better. Still kind of loud. Let's turn it down a little bit more. I don't want it to be too quiet for you guys. Hopefully that's good because I don't feel like recording this again. Alright, so WASD's to walk. I guess this is like, I don't know, I guess we're on like a map. It almost reminds me of like a closer visual of what civilization would look like. Let's go over here.
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway.
Hooligans. Vandalism.
The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you. "Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?"
Wait. That was a solid attempt at a girl's voice, but not convincing. Not convincing. Do I have cigarettes? You know what? We'll toss him a cigarette.
You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. "You know these girls?" they demand.
No, I don't know these girls. They just came at me asking me for a cigarette.
Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. "If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash," sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
Well, whatever fingering a rifle's supposed to mean. Moving on. Okay. The women arrested for bootlegging is a new quest. Is there? Okay. Alright. Eyes inventory. Oh, M's map. Okay, pretty basic stuff. Okay, let's see what we got going on in our inventory. Inventory. I don't. Is that something that's in our inventory? Okay, I guess. Stories. 1 out of 237 stories gathered. I would assume the one story is... I don't know which story it is. Oh, there we go. It's a little glitching out a little bit. The women arrested for bootlegging. Okay, it's a little glitchy. Don't know why it's doing that, but journal log. Progress 0. Okay. Let's check out the map. Okay, seems... Oh, alright, the map's actually pretty big. We're gonna be going... Oh my god! Yo! Alright. Alright, we got a lot of stuff to do, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff. all the way up in Maine. I like Maine. I've been to Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine was super nice, actually. One of my favorite cities that I've been to. Okay. Well, let's see. We have to head south. Onward. Press H to view in-game manual. Your goal is to fulfill your obligation to the wolf by finding all 16 characters scattered over the US and trade stories with them until you earn their trust and finish their story. Okay. I wonder, is there a way to walk faster? Let's see. Options, controls. Hitchhike. What was hitchhike? Cute. Okay, thumbing it. Alright, let's see what's going on over here at this house. God, you walk slow in this game. I really hope there's a way to speed this up, because to walk this slow all the way to California seems like a whole task.
Off the road and into the woods, you can't help but come across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle.
Well, hello, little buddy.
The shape gives a start.
Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here.
It says in a small voice.
What's wrong with your
Pa
paw?
doesn't want to live with us anymore. But I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding.
I won't tell him, but I wanna. I'm gonna look for
His
your dad.
father must have been here at some point, but you sure can't see him now,
Please go. He's coming back any minute.
says the boy, growing agitated.
He's going to see you talking to me. Please, go.
He only calms down when you leave. You don't see another soul for miles.
Moving on. The boy who ran away with his father, a new story. Wait, there's a fork in the road here, which... Okay, New Hampshire. Portland. Ah, alright, Portland. Let's go to Portland. I like Portland. I'm already right here, so I might as well see what's going on here, if anything. Okay, so it's set interactions. You can only interact with specific stuff, I guess. Because I just went over to that farm, couldn't do anything there.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the
Portland's popping.
waters of this land.
Oh, I see a car.
By and by,
Okay, I'm gonna try to
I'll see
hitchhike.
them far and long.
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore.
Why don't they come every year?
Just when the fishing is going to be good. He taps great, black, thick globs of spent tobacco out of a huge ceramic pipe. I got another year, I guess.
Another year of what?
Another year of this town being here, he replies, letting a grin spread across his face. If the seagulls came, that means enough fish to keep it in place.
Okay.
The woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis. A confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise.
love interest right here.
You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit.
Okay, well,
You decide to seek a second opinion.
I'm sorry that you took her on a date and didn't get anything in return.
You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner.
Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere as far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
We should keep asking around. I say we just approach her.
You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench.
You may. Lovely outside, isn't it?
Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat.
Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Petty. It's a French woman. Okay. Scarred at the neck. Moving on. Don't worry, Portland. Over the next 80 years, you guys will grow to be a giant, bustling city.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open with a daunting staircase before you.
Going up.
At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door.
Let's listen in.
Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough.
Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door.
Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead.
Let's wait.
After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand.
Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in.
No, actually, I thought I just want to stand out here and get soaked. Of course I want to come in.
Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. Tea? He offers, hoisting a teapot.
I wonder what these mean. Like they change. I wonder if the different dialogue options gives you a different story path towards the stories you're supposed to find. Well, I'm gonna go with been here long, see what
A
happens.
few years.
The tall one sits on the sofa, wrapping his arm casually around the other lighthouse keeper. 5, says the smaller, but by no means small, man.
That long? Time flies. We traveled together before that. You must have some good stories from the road, huh?
Well, I have some.
You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
Okay, so we're gonna end this episode here. That was Portland, our first city of the game, the first city we get to interact with. We heard from a dude who was stalking some seagulls. We heard from the French lady with the scar on her throat. And we heard from two men living in a lighthouse. Nothing they shared with us was that exciting, but we'll see how things develop from here. Thanks for watching episode 2, and hopefully you tune in for episode 3.